Across South Australia, Rikki Lambert has been talking about minerals, and this is a topic of great interest, particularly given the situation of batteries, and South Australia being a huge proponent for the alternative energies and battery backups, the Jamestown battery and so forth. Rikki's joined me again in our studio, and Rikki, you've had some discussion in recent days with the South Australian Chamber of Mines and Energy about lithium. This is a very important metal. It's a precious metal that is needed for batteries. Tell us about what's happening with that particular mineral and some of what the South Australian Chamber of Mines and Energy are saying.
Yeah, it's particularly topical when you look at what Mr Albanese has said about his policy announcement regarding more batteries being deployed. And around the world, there's all this talk that we're going to rely on batteries. And I thought, leading into that, well, let's see what the SA Council of Mines and Energy have to say about South Australia's lithium reserves. And it's quite an interesting comment.
We do have a decent amount of critical minerals, but importantly, a lot of our critical minerals are also on land that is considered to be good agricultural land. So that will naturally result in a discussion about farmers want us mining on their land. But yes, we do have fantastic sources of critical minerals. The University of Adelaide has a critical minerals department, and there's a huge amount of research going into that, which is also supported federally, because federally the government is really wanting to shore up and make sure we've got access to our own supplies of those minerals as we move further and further into this technological age.
Yes, Rebecca Knol there from the Chamber of Minerals and Energy in South Australia. So we move then to a position where if these cars, as Mr Albanese has said, and has actually in a video clip been made a little bit of fun of by Malcolm Roberts, the Senator in Queensland for Pauline Hanson, about using solar panels to charge your car at night. Yes, the sun not shining there, Mr Albanese, but I think he probably would have been alluding to every house having solar panels and a battery that then would be able to draw down for your alternative energy car to be able to have its batteries charged. But Rikki, when we look at this, is it possible for everywhere around the world to be driving around in alternative energy batteried cars? I mean, is this actually possible? Is there enough lithium? Can we mine it quickly enough? Is there a way to mine these precious minerals that do not affect the environment, or the people that mine them, are they exposed to enormous levels of, if you like, the chemical poisoning and so forth? Are these questions that the government may not have considered in its position?
Well, the simple fact is, based on the current resources that we have and all the talk about renewable energy and the batteries that are going to be relied upon to provide renewable energy as a substitute for baseload energy, there simply isn't enough battery technology available in the world to deal with that right now. And that's why Rebecca Knol saying the federal government have identified these critical minerals that they need to start inventorying and stockpiling because they know that they can't rely on China, and China positioned themselves decades ago to be the primary exporter of these resources, and that was a very smart move by China, but they don't do it in a very clean way. But I caught an article from The Economist earlier this week, and in that article, they said that in March, Australia unveiled a plan for processing critical minerals, inviting companies to apply for public funds. And Canada has published a list of 31 critical minerals in a scheme to boost supply. What these countries are doing, like Australia, is realising during the pandemic, we just cannot solely rely on what we import. We need to find ways that we can source these materials internally. And when it comes to these rare minerals, they are in abundance in Australia, but as Rebecca Knol pointed out, some of it is right in the thick of our prime agricultural land.
And that becomes another question for the South Australian government, the Marshall government, to work through, and that is another topic that we have covered here on Flow News 24 and on the radio here on the morning show. Rikki, good to get your views on the situation of lithium, and is there enough to go around? Probably not.